time to take our little dragon and get his wings to flap. Now the simple way to do that is to record bone movement. We need to set him up into a position we like. Now here you can see the various bones we have available to us. We're going to put him into the pose mode. Start at the very beginning here. And let's make this a flap up. So we rotate. Whoops, we got to get his bone positioned over here in the bone panel to have pose position available. We've got a lot of other things open here. Mouth, etc. So I'm going to select all the bones, go to pose mode, and clear the transform all. That's done quite often. You want to clear something out. Alright, that looks reasonable. We're going to tilt up this bone here and tilt up this bone here. Seen from above, he should be reaching forward with his wings. Rowing a boat. So we've moved these two here. We can insert them into our timeline. We can also automatically insert things into our timeline by using this button here. Turning these two on will automatically insert the location, the rotation, and the scale. In this case, we really just want the rotation, not the location. Wrote. Where's rot? There we go. We just want the rotation to be recorded. So we want it to follow along with the rest of the avatar and not have to worry about it overriding the scale or anything as we fly this fellow down. So we're going to take these two bones like this and copy them with Control C. You can also hit these buttons in the lower right hand corner to copy and paste into the timeline. And every 25 ticks, we're going to just paste it again. 25, 50, 75. There we go. Now we're doing, this is the up position. We'll do this again in a minute with the down position. Here we need to beat again, and probably again. Let's see, 100 and there to there to there, right to there, and right there, up again. So those are all the ups. And now we're going to do the down. So we can come back again and we can move the feet, put them in a flying position. There's lots of bones to maneuver. Look at it from above. Oh, there he is. Now these should be backwards as they beat downward into the rear. And of course you can go in and curl these a little more. However you want to, whatever you think is realistic. Yeah, like that. Actually, I would think it would be the other direction, more in the up direction. The bones will go down, but the wings would be up. Tilt that down a little more. So I'm going to just take all of these bones here, like this. We have auto recording turned on, so we don't have to do an insert. Copy it. And we're going to go every 10 after the 25 and paste it in. That'd be 25, 35. That'd make it go down fairly quickly and then up fairly slowly. Count at 10 and then count at 15 up for a total of 25. Like so. The wings go up, wings go down. It's 25, the wings are down there at 35. So it's 60 we got to beat again. $85, 110, 25, 135, into yourself a lot while you do this. 135, that'd be 150, 160. Now we're coming in towards the landing here. He's going to go flap, 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 flap. We need him to do a flap right here. Up, another flap right here. So his flaps speed up a little bit towards the end. Flap. Is he still sliding there? I think what I'm going to do, down, up. I'm going to delete this with Alt-I, and here, Alt-I. Move him this way one. We're going to have his wings go down rather slowly. And then fold up. So we're going to look at it from above. Where did he go? Auto keying's turned on, so I have to do anything. Just grab these bones and position them with the G key. You can also click them and rotate them. That ought to work. Now you're ready for this? He should fly down, come to a landing, get set, flippity flappity. And he just lands and folds his wings up. There we go. Now see there, that's pretty easy to do, isn't it? You just got to be a little tedious with the positioning of stuff. It's easy to make a mistake. Don't worry about it. You'll have to start over. You can just Alt-I to remove a keyframe. The real trick to this is gross movements first. Then you can tweak them very easily. We'll go back and do the legs and bend his head, and we'll call the lesson complete. So let's get him right towards the bottom. Right here. Turn the bones on. Go to pose mode. Click the avatar, then switch to pose mode. Yep. And let's zoom way in and take a look at what we're doing. Comes in and lands. Comes to a halt right there. This is where we're going to bring that head rotated in the Z-axis towards the camera. Also going to rotate that a little bit. Then shortly thereafter, this is a nice trick. There's an extra bone in the Avastar called the skull bone. And if you rotate that in the X and you weight paint it 100% to this and take away the head, and then 50% it to the tongue, you can make the mouth open like this, which is really pretty awesome when you think about it. Now we probably have to go undo that, because right here we need to insert that. Then right about here, rotate that into E. Otherwise it'll be a little bit weird. Rotate it back. Now let's turn the head a little more. Let's come back towards our landing. He's coming in here. He should have his feet coming forward and reaching for this spot. So right about here, we're going to bring those feet forward like he's reaching for it. And use the grab key on the feet. And you see how the inverse kinetics works. Then we come in this way. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Somewhere right around here as we reach the ground, let's see the spot where his feet are going to be. Say right about there. We go put his foot down on the ground. See, I have a weight painting issue on this new avatar too. There's a spike coming out of him right down there. That's attached from this foot to the rear foot. Fix that real quick. Go to weight paint. Click this little spot right here. Go to N. Let's find out what he's got a little bit of the thumbs on the right, right, right. M hand, middle 2. Hand, thumb 2, right, 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 right. Why is that way back there? Oh, it doesn't have anything on it. It needs to have a little bit of something. There we go. Missed a weight paint earlier. This is one of the challenges, by the way, with the new Bento avatar is in these hands. To give you a rough feel for this, you can see you have to not have more than a certain number, 4. Let's see, right hand, there's the ring finger on this hand. Then there is a bone right behind it and another one right behind it. So that's the ring 3, ring there. And painting all these is a bit tedious, let me tell you that. But it's going to give us the ability with avatars to actually, shoot the bird, make a Spock sign, grasp a cup without having to play an animation that has the finger frozen in one position. So there's a lot of nice new bones here. There's a lot of face bones, which I'm not using. I'm just using, I'm using this bone, which is kind of fun. There is a ability to stick the tongue out on this thing and stretch it by scaling it. We've also got tailbones that we can use. I'd forgotten about. Let's put a tailbone back in. Let's go back to the texture mode. When he comes in for a landing, he comes zoom, 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 puts his feet out. We need to get his front feet on the ground. That would probably be, which bone is that? Let's just grab this one here. Avatar, grab, camera mode. Rotate this into place. So there you have it, how to animate a dragon. Still got his feet up in the air. Now in order to turn this into a video, we have to save it to disk using this tool here, the camera. So you have a series of render presets. I tend to use HDTV 1080p. That's 1,000 pixels tall, about 1,800 across or so, 1,920 to be exact. So you don't really need a high polygon model. It's only 1,000 pixels tall, even on the best screens in the whole world. HDTV video is high resolution, so you don't need a 5,000 pixel or a 3 million pixel avatar. You just need something that's 1,000 pixels tall, best case. So a regular HDTV wallpaper works pretty good. Once you've set that, and you set your frame rate, which we did earlier, you can turn on features like anti-aliasing, which gets rid of jaggies. You can make it blur, which will slow it down. Fiddle with the shading. There's a bunch of parameters here, but you don't particularly need them. Anything other than just set the resolution, an output folder like this, and change the file type. There's a lot of different file types. You can actually say, for example, a bunch of PNGs or bitmaps in a row. I recommend PNGs rather than JPEG. With the PNG, it's not going to lose any data. Then you can take these and make a GIF out of it with a simple GIF manufacturing tool. Or you can make it into an AVI JPEG. I prefer an MPEG. An MPEG file has only one issue with it. It's going to make it as a DVD. You'll need to rename the file as MPG. And then you do that, and you're going to come up here and you're going to click the animation button. This is going to cause the system to start here and sweep and do 300 frames. It's going to take a while. Each frame, depending on how busy the scene is, can take 5-10 seconds each. Here we're probably looking at maybe 15 seconds on a quad-core i7 with a GeForce 960-ish video card. It's a laptop. It's a fairly high-end one though. So it's going to take a while. This is going to take maybe an hour to run. It's going to make a movie file on the disk. So what I usually do is I build up credits with some spare computers. When I'm asleep, I let the computer build up credits on a free Windows farm called Sheepit. And you run a little program. It grinds away and builds images like this for other people all night long. And when you come in the morning, you can just upload this file and click render, and it will render this thing for you. So while this is running, we'll should save it while we're at it. Upload to a render farm and have a race between one computer and 200 computers and see which one can do it quicker. So it's going to take quite a bit of time to render this on an ordinary computer, probably 10 or 15 a second. Seconds per frame times 300 frames is about 3,000 seconds, which is an hour or so. For a bigger video that goes 15-20 minutes, you could take days. If you have a highly complex scene with lots of trees, things, it could take weeks. So you need to do something a little faster. You can use Sheepit, the free render farm. It comes with a little app. You run it on your computer in your spare time, and it builds up credits here so that you can then upload your project and get it done in parallel with on over 200 other computers. So it works pretty well. So what you're going to do in order to do it is you create an account. It's free. It's supported by this little ad over here of banana. What's kind of funny is sometimes I see, because it's a Blender render farm, I see farm ads. I also see ads for blenders over here, like for your kitchen. So what you're going to do is you're going to save your file. There's a couple of rules you need to do in order to save it. For example, it needs to have the textures packed in it. It needs to not be maybe taking more than 20 minutes to render a single frame. No nudity or racist content. Then you click the file and upload it. And when you've done that, you send the file. And fill in a few options. Typically you just hit OK. If you don't get any error messages, it'll render it in whenever setting. Here we go. It's going to do 299 frames. It's going to do it in the latest version of Blender, and it will crank through all of that. So I'm going to pause the video now while we watch it run. It's been running a little bit. We've got our our green dragon backdrop is now done. It's been rendered, and we can see the statistics on it and look at the frames and download it. So the statistics on this particular one, you can see here it was able to be done in about 3 minutes minutes total runtime on a bunch of different machines. Defunct ran it on most of them, actually. The other people grabbed a frame on top of it. Somebody else, one dude design, grabbed a bunch more. Go back to the project and you can see all the frames. So you can see our beginning frame, ending frame, zoom in on it, take a look and make sure the quality is okay. You can actually see this while it's running. Each frame is done one at a time. So there's that big old background in high definition quality. And what you're going to do is you can actually see the video in a preview window. So there's our little dragon come flying in, turning, getting bigger, coming down and swooping in for a landing, then turning his head and opening his mouth. Now we're going to turn that into a high definition movie here in just a minute. But first we need to download our file. You get that here with this get archive frame. That'll give you an entire zip file that you'll need to explode on your hard drive, which I've already done. So you need a program like Photoshop or something else that can stitch images together to make a movie. Photoshop, it's pretty easy. You're just going to browse over to your repository. Let's see, that's going to be in my downloads in the Green Dragon backdrop. You select the first image and then click Image Sequence and click OK. It's 24 frames per second. Tell it OK, and it'll scan through all the images, tell you if anything's missing, and build you a stack up over here. All you have to do now is export that by rendering the video. There's a couple of different choices of video: QuickTime, MPEG, a few others. This will take a little bit of time. I'm going to call this particular thing here Green Dragon Flight. We're going to put it in the Green Dragon Backdrop 2 folder. QuickTime. Let's do an MPEG 4. High quality, 1920 by 1080p, render all the frames, and tell it to go. And this will take another couple of minutes, but it's certainly a lot better than waiting an hour or two for my computer to do the work for me. The computer's available in the meantime when the render farm is running. So I'm going to pause it again, and we'll have our video in a moment. I'll tack it on the end of this, and again on the beginning so we can see how it worked out. There, it's exporting now. Let's let that run.